All aboard the DTF Station train. What's going on YouTube? Estevan here with All American Print Supply, and I'm really excited for today. We just got in this brand new material we've been testing for direct-to-film printing, and we can't wait to show you. For more information on any of the products in today's video, be sure to check out the links in the description. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Let's get DTFing. So the team and I have been working on a really fun and informative series, kind of breaking down what we look for in selecting the direct-to-film materials that we offer to our customers. Now, I do want to start with what's known as the ink absorbing layer, which in my opinion is probably the most important factor of any PET film or direct-to-film printing material. What the ink absorbing layer is referring to is how much ink we can apply to the material before it begins to puddle or pool. Now, as a unit of measurement, we've sort of been standardizing our Cathari NeoRip direct-to-film printing profile as a measuring stick to see how these other films perform. And on some of the lesser direct-to-film materials we've tested, I've run into puddling, pooling, blending of colors. Now let's take a look and see how this new DTF Station film performs. Wait, I need a print. Okay, here we are. Got my print fresh hot out of the machine. Let's take a look at how this ink absorbing layer is performing. As you can see, there is no puddling, no pooling, no dripping of the ink, even though we do have this rich, white, opaque overprint. And you might not know it from looking at it, this is actually a rainbow CMYK design. Now, because the ink absorbing layer is working to perfection, there's no puddling, no mixing of my colors. Now up next, I do want to touch on the anti-static layer. Now this is going to refer also to our hot melting powder. Let's go ahead and get this powdering. My powder station was over here. Okay, so we're talking about anti-static layer. For those of you who've been already running direct-to-film printing, you may have noticed powder retention, kind of around your printed image. This is not what we want. Now, powder accumulation can be a result from time to time due to humidity or temperature, but more often not, it's going to be related to the film itself or its anti-static layer. One of the reasons we're really excited about this new product from our vendor DTF Station is they are super on top of all their different layers. Now we're going to start powdering this right now with our eco-free hot melting powder, but did you know we also have this available in black? For a more user-friendly experience with your darker garments, I'd highly recommend checking out the DTF hot melt powder from eco-free in black. So let's get to powdering. I'm just gonna go ahead and place just a little bit of this powder onto my wet print. And then in a back and forth motion, we're gonna create an even layer across the entire image. Just a couple here, one more to be safe. Now, I haven't even flicked this yet. There is virtually zero powder on my film around my printed image. Now, if this is your first time watching a direct-to-film printing tutorial, after you apply your hot melt powder to your wet image, you want to aim your print from anyone in your shop and go ahead and just... All the excess powder that I just flicked off, I can use for my next project, and now I've ensured that I'm only going to be transferring my image itself. Now, let's go ahead and get this cured. For those of you who are doing the hover method with your heat press, we got a great tip for you. Preheat your lower platen by closing the heat press machine empty, and that'll help double your speed time as far as curing. Let me show you. By closing my temperature empty, this lower portion heated already while we were waiting, so it's going to be a much faster dry. And while we're on the subject of anti-static and powder retention, our anti-static mats are a great tool if you are working in a work environment that has excess static, maybe friction generating. Great product to help make sure your DTF prints come out crisp and clean every time. Let's give this a moment to cure up. That was much faster by preheating the lower platen. Now, when you're curing your hot melt powder to your wet print, you want to achieve sort of an orange peel, kind of ripple texture, and somewhat of a slight gloss. These are going to be the indicators that we've properly dried the hot melt powder to the wet print. It's ready for application, distribution, or storage, and the garment's going to have a long cycle in the wash and dryer. Now, I do want to break down the application settings. Let's go ahead and press this onto a shirt. I should get a shirt. Okay. Got my shirt. All right, guys, DTF demonstration time. Class, make sure you get your pens and pencils. Let's take some notes. What's the very first thing we should do before any kind of transferring or digital printing? That's right, the pre-press. All we're gonna do is hang the garment onto the machine, and we're gonna close it down at full temperature. Now, we're basically ironing the garment right now, laying the fibers down nice and flat. That should be plenty. Go ahead and bring this guy back up. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna position my transfer where I wish to apply. Put this nice and center, kind of eyeball that. Now, before I close it, I am gonna protect my heating element using this thick-coated double-sided sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and place this right over. Now, the settings for this product from DTF Station is gonna be 15 seconds for for about 330 Fahrenheit. Let's go ahead and press this. Now, while this is pressing, I do want to touch on the release layer. This is another coating that these PET DTF films receive. This is referring to how fast the film can be released. We have a couple options. One, we can wait about 4 or 5 seconds before we do our peel while it's still hot. Or if you have a piece of fabric, you can rub this gently for just a moment. It's going to absorb some of that heat, and now we can perform our hot peel. Let's take a look. Check out that release layer, everyone. As we can see, there is zero ink left behind on my PET film. Gosh, DTF Station is just delivering on every layer of their film product. Now, many times, hot peel DTF products can leave sort of an oily or kind of glossy appearance, and this can be due to inconsistent or poor application of that release layer. Now, after we have done our hot peel, we do advise performing what's called the second press. This is gonna do a couple things here. One, if we do have any kind of sheen, shine to our transfer, this will give it more of a matte or retail appearance. Two, this is gonna seal the transfer into the garment. And three, if we did transfer any little specks of powder, this will give us a chance to melt that into the material. Let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna place our cover sheet to protect our heating element once again. And this is gonna be about a 5-second after press. And again, we're just sealing in our transfer. We're getting a chance to burn any excess hot melting powder that may have transferred, and this will give us a nice matte retail finish. My goodness, DTF Station on top of the game. Now, as of today's film date, the DTF Station transfer film is going to be available in 14x16 and A3 sizing. But stay tuned, because coming soon, we're going to have A3 Plus, A4, 16x20, and roll options available. For more information on any of the products in today's video, be sure to hit those links in the description. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. Make sure you guys subscribe for more awesome print-related content, and don't miss out on hopping on board with our new vendor, DTF Station. This train's chugging along.